Welcome back everyone to today's video. We are going to be doing your 10 to 14 day forecast. For today's first video, we might have another winter update out later, so make sure to keep your notifications on and stay tuned for that. We're not going to waste any time, we're going to get straight into this right now. We're going to be showing you the GFS, ECMWF and some of the other shorter range forecasts for the next couple of weeks. So, the high pressure is yellow, orange and red, low pressure is green, blue and purple, and this is the current situation. We've got high pressure sitting to the south and over the country. We've got a little area of low pressure in the Atlantic trying to break down the ridge, and right now we've got the winds coming in sort of from a slight easterly, sort of southerly direction, and that's why it is feeling pretty chilly today, and especially this morning. Now, as we run through this, if it wants me there, let me just, there we go. Right, when we run through this, that area low pressure does break through, bringing a belt of more unsettled weather, which will bring a lot of rain and probably quite windy as well. It's pretty deep area low pressure. Yeah, probably very unsettled for especially England and Wales. And that low sort of drifts off to the east, and we get another area low pressure in, and this, wow, look at this. Let me just draw on this for you. We bring this low pressure in, this is extreme. Look how tightly packed the millibars are around here. That'd be like 100 miles per hour gusts possible with that. That's very unsettled and windy. That'd 100% be a named storm. That is for Thursday, so it's looking pretty unsettled if this comes off, if I say so myself. As we continue, that low pressure drops out into the North Sea, and we start to drag the winds down from the north and from the Arctic, and we're going to be going very cold if we look at the upper air temperatures based on that. We're going to be going very cold for the time of year. Not yet, but once. There you go, look at that, -5 upper air temperatures drifting in. If that was in January, we'd probably be below freezing, maybe all day, because that's a very cold spell of weather just there for the time of year. That passes and the high pressure starts to come back in from the west before we go more unsettled again to end the month. But there's always signs of that high pressure blocking to the north, and by the end of the run, on the 3rd of November, we're setting up for a Scandi. We've got the high pressure is now, look at this, high pressure pushes up to Scandi. It's also a bit blocked over Greenland as well. We're very blocked in this minute. We've got the polar vortex is sort of limited up there. We just got a bit of low pressure dropped over the country. I mean, the high pressure's strengthening over Scandi, and it looks like we're going to end up bringing an easterly in, which won't be that cold at this time of the year, as there's no cold pool here yet. But later on in the winter, when the cold pool gets going, it could be very cold. So that is a interesting sign. I mean, there is some cold pool there, to be honest. So I mean, there's -10 upper airs, so it's very interesting. Run from the GFS today. Right, ECMWF. Looks like this for the next couple of weeks. No, it's not on hover again, is it? There we go. Once again, we got that low pressure out in the Atlantic. Now, is it going to be as strong as it was on the GFS? Let's have a look. First lower pressure drops through, bringing plenty of rain. Secondary low pressure comes through, but it's nowhere near as strong, so it's still unsettled and wet, but it's nowhere near as strong as the GFS. We do start bringing the winds in from the north, but it's quite mild still at this point, as we've got some mild air over Scandinavia. Look at that. All these regions, they've been seeing some snow up here, and then it goes very mild looking at that. We continue. We get the wind in from the north, just there, and I reckon we will be going a bit chillier there. Yeah, we will go a little bit chillier with the ECMWF before the Atlantic starts to break through once again. We are trying to get that block going around Greenland, but up to the end, we are looking westerly and pretty autumn-like, what we'd expect for the time of the year. Right, we have got the GFS ensembles. 850 HPA temperature and precipitation anomalies. The red line is the 30-year average from 1991 to 2020. We are currently at just below the average. We're going to be climbing over the next few days before we get the big cold spell that we are expecting through the end of the month, and then the uncertainty returns for the end of the month as it is too far out. We are looking very unsettled though. Maybe the latest GFS operational, bit of an outlier with that storm, so we'll see what happens with that storm, but overall very unsettled but quite cold. Well, very cold really for the time of the year. We are about 5 degrees in the upper air temperatures below average for the time of the year in this upcoming cold spell. Here's the ECMWF to see if they think any difference. Once again, next couple of days we're going to be above average, and then we will be dropping for around a week before the uncertainty returns later on in the month. Once again, very unsettled. Maybe a bit more of a stormy outlook there. Maybe the storm. We will see what will happen with this storm, but there's still time for it to develop. I know it's like 5 days away, but with the low pressure, you don't really know what's going to happen. So yeah, once again, very unsettled and quite cool. Once again, about 5 degrees below the normal average for the time of year. Some going like nearly 10 below average, which would be very cold. So once again, looking pretty chilly over the next couple of weeks. Okay, and the ECMWF weekly anomalies. This is for the 20th to the 27th of October, and we have got high pressure sitting out to Greenland, low pressure dropped in over Europe, and we've got the winds coming down from the north, looking quite cold there. We're not going to go any further than this, so week 2 takes us to day 10 to 14. This is the 27th of October to the 3rd of November, and once again we've got high pressure blocking a bit more to the Canadian side of Greenland, low pressure dropped over Europe, and we have got the winds in from the north. A bit chilly there as well, so pretty interesting for the end of the month, looking pretty cold. Really. Anyway, that's it for your 10 to 14 day. We'll probably be back later with a winter update, I expect. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.